Today I wanted to share with you one of the techniques that I use when I start to get food thoughts. So this happened quite recently, where it was late morning before lunch was scheduled to happen, and I started thinking about donuts and cupcakes. And it's fine, there's nothing bad with that, but what I did was a quick body scan. I just did a quick, okay, what's happening? Why am I being distracted by food thoughts? What's driving that? This is a big thing. It's an important thing from an emotional eating perspective, right? Because those kinds of foods historically for me are foods that I would overeat and often not feel good about myself after consuming them. So there I am, trying to work on something else, got other people, great conversation, and I'm being distracted by food thoughts. So quick body scan, what's going on? Is this emotional? What is this? As it turns out, it was hunger. Yeah, hunger, the root of so many things. Being hungry is a place that our body doesn't particularly care to be. So it will definitely start to fill your head with all kinds of food thoughts because we're not going to starve. Our bodies will not let us do it, at least not long term. So I did the body scan and went, oh, wow, I'm hungry. Not snack hungry, I'm meal hungry. Like, I need to eat. So what I did was I excused myself from the conference. I went and I got myself some lunch and I came back and I ate it. And long and behold, the thoughts of cupcakes and donuts, they were gone. Now, that's what happened that time. And honestly, learning to know what hunger feels like has been single-handedly the biggest, most impactful piece to my journey. Because I can't tell you how many times I landed in the food. I was turning to food thinking I was an emotional eating food addict. And really what it came down to was that I was not honoring my hunger. So that's what happened that day. And this all happened in a few seconds. It was pretty quick and people from the outside wouldn't have known. It was as soon as I became aware that I had these food thoughts, it was questioning where they were coming from. Did the quick body scan. Oh, it's hunger. Go get the food. Good to go, right? What would I have done had I done a body scan and there was no hunger? That would have gone something like this. Okay, did I eat enough food this morning? Did I have a big enough breakfast? Okay, is there anything that's triggering right now? Is the content of the course triggering for me? Is there a person in the room that's triggering for me? Is there something going on in my personal life that's sort of invading my thoughts right now that I'm feeling like I need to be comforted? Because typically those types of foods, for me and for many people, it's about altering some of the serotonin levels and bringing that comfort piece. So had that been the case, then I could have evaluated what it was that was triggering me and was there a way that I could address that problem. The other important scan to do, I found hunger. Maybe I would have found fatigue. Being tired is a huge driver for carb-based foods, especially the simple carbs. It could have been that I didn't sleep well, I was in a hotel. It could have been that, I don't know, it was a time change thing and I didn't have what I needed that way. Anyways, fatigue, another big thing. Could I have stopped and taken a nap? Well, maybe on my lunch break, right? I could have had a nap, which I did a couple times because that jet lag, the whole traveling across the country thing, I find really tricky. But anyways, that's not the point of this story. The point is, for every food thought, instead of giving myself a hard time for feeling like, I could really go for a cupcake it was noticing that thought, being neutral about it, and looking at what was underneath. Now, maybe I could have done that whole scan and found there was absolutely nothing underneath that. That maybe I hadn't had dessert in days, which is true, actually, now that I think of it, on that day. But that's not the point. Something that I would have liked to have. So I can make a note of it and then get back to my work and make a point of finding it later. Making a point of making myself a nice cup of tea, sitting in a nice environment, and enjoying a donut or a cupcake if that's what I wanted. But making sure that I created the most pleasurable environment to enjoy that pleasure food in. Some of what I just went through is part of the 6-step strategy to overcome emotional eating that I'm going to share in the emotional eating masterclass that's coming up. If you would like more detail and more depth of that entire scan and how that worked and how all those offshoots could have occurred, then I would invite you to register. Join me, bring your questions, bring your curiosity, and let's take a deeper look at what could be driving some of your eating behaviors that you're not feeling particularly great about.